Hey, it's Morpheus414 again, and I'm here to give you tips and tricks on how to beat Omochao's missions in Sonic Lost World. Let's get started. First off, let's go through missions 1 through 13, collecting 500, 750, 1000, 1250, 1500, 1750, 2000, 2250, 2500, 3000, 3500, 4000, and 4500 rings. Without a doubt, the easiest place to complete this is the Nightmare Zone, which is the DLC that comes with the Deadly 6 bonus edition. If you follow the level properly and, of course, not get hurt, you can make yourself 1,000 plus rings with every single run. If you don't have the Nightmare DLC, there's nothing to worry about. You can still get plenty of rings on places like Sky Road Zone, Tropical Coast Zone 1, Frozen Factory Zone 4, and Desert Ruins Zone 2. Alternatively, you can try Frozen Factory Zone 3, but I don't personally recommend it. While there's a high chance of earning a lot of rings, there's an even greater chance of losing them all in the pinball table. Now for missions 14 through 21. Clear a zone with at least 50, 75, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, and 350 rings. Whenever you can, use a shield to keep yourself safe. If you don't have one, a little precaution is in order, but not to worry. Just keep yourself away from areas with hazards you know you have problems with, know your enemy and its attack patterns, and try not to rush. You should be okay. Not to mention, there's nothing wrong with going supersonic every once in a while. As long as you get to the goal soon enough, you'll be fine. For the higher number missions, refer to the previous monologues on where to collect rings. Missions 22 through 24. Jump 30, 100, and 250 times. This one's self-explanatory. Okay, mission 25. Grab a ledge and climb up 5 times. This one's also easy. You can even do it on the same ledge. Just walk to the end of it, and as soon as you drop off, pull back on your controller. Sonic will automatically do the rest. Mission 26. Move along the ceiling for at least 5 seconds. Another easy mission. What you need to look for are ceilings with overgrown grass or some kind of netting. You'll know you're in the right place when Sonic continues parkour walking upside down. Simply hold the right trigger and move back and forth. Make sure you don't get hit by something. The best place to try this would be in Desert Ruins Zone 1, Silent Forest Zone 2, and Frozen Factory Zone 4. Missions 27 through 29. Spin dash for at least 2, 5, and 10 seconds. Spin dashing is a complicated art form, but I can teach you how to master it. Hold down the X button and use the control stick to direct your balled up self, even in mid-spin. Don't forget to hit a booster to help extend your roll. For 2 seconds, it's ridiculously easy. You can spin dash nearly anywhere and get this one perfectly. If you want someplace specific, try Yoshi's Island or Windy Hill Zone 2. Anything with a loop-loop. It helps keep your spin up longer. For the 5-second roll, your best bet is Windy Hill Zones 1 and 4. Both have a long range of scripted boosters that will definitely get you over that time frame. Now 10 seconds, that's going to be rough. The only place I know that'll get it done is in Sky Road Zone 1. There's a checkpoint where you come across a large checkerboard of collapsing platforms. Look for the extra life countdown numbers. Now, standing at the very edge of the platform, spin dash and use control sticks to navigate yourself from booster to booster. The trick here is to make sure you don't hit one that sends you to the same platform that just fell. If you're having trouble keeping up, just tap X a couple of times during your roll, and that should help. Missions 30 through 33. Pull off 1, 5, 10, and 20 wall jumps. This one may be a little bit difficult to do, but it is possible. The best place to try it would be in Desert Ruins Zone 1. Indoors, there are plenty of narrow corridors that can help you make new goals. Make sure to press the A button as rapidly as you can while ascending the hallways. It'll definitely take a lot of tries, but you can get it done. Missions 34 through 36. Run along the wall for 10, 20, and 30 meters. Your best place to do this is in a zone where dying is not a consequence of your fall, such as Windy Hill Zone 1 or Frozen Factory Zone 1. One of my favorite tactics for wall running is to jump towards an adjacent wall, then run up it first. Then hopping whichever direction has the opening wall will not only have you rushing effortlessly across, but at a much higher and safer position. Believe it or not, you can also spin dash across the wall. Just once though. It won't help too much, but it could be just that tiny boost you need to unlock the mission. Good luck! Missions 37 through 39. Defeat 10, 20, and 30 enemies with the spin dash. You need a lot of enemies in a row for this one, so definitely head on down to Desert Ruins Zone 1. There are plenty of moto bugs, and they are all in a straight line just for you. You can pretty much get all 30 in one shot. Missions 40 through 42. Defeat 10, 20, and 30 enemies by bouncing. Picture it. You gotta find enemies to bounce on, but every time you try, the homing system locks on, and you end up doing that sweet flip kick instead. How do you solve this dilemma? The Limbo section of Silent Forest Zone 4. In the dark, all homing related attacks are disabled. This is your perfect chance to bounce your way to glory. Doing that can be tedious, however, since there are only a handful of enemies that can be safely killed that way. If you want, you can also try Desert Ruins. There's a checkpoint with blue licorice that's too low to kick from, so you can use that to your advantage for some well-timed bounces. Missions 43 through 45. In a single attack, you use 3, 4, and 6 lock-ons to defeat one or more enemies. This is an easy challenge. The trick here is to pay attention to the beams. When approaching a group of enemies facing in the direction of each one, we'll lock onto all of them. Unleash a homing attack and you've got it made. Good places to do this would be in Windy Hill Zone 1, Desert Ruins Zone 1, Windy Hill Zone 4, and Frozen Factory Zone 1. Mission 46. Kick an enemy into another enemy. Easy peasy. Simply press X instead of A and the game will do the rest. Mission 47. Defeat 100 enemies with kicks. Simply repeat the process for each enemy and you'll have no trouble at all. A good place to find a lot of enemies would be Tropical Coast Zone 1. You can also try Silent Forest Zone 1 or Silent Forest Zone 2. Mission 48. Multi-lock onto a single enemy and defeat it with a power homing attack. You're going to need a more powerful enemy to face in order to make this work. Try it on an enemy like a Snail Blaster, which can be found in Windy Hill and Desert Ruins Zone 1. Missions 49 through 54. Defeat 50, 75, 100, 200, 250, and 300 enemies. Now this one's real obvious. You gotta go with Desert Ruins Zone 2. Without question the easiest, most efficient, and probably most fun way to rack up your scores. There are dozens, nay, hundreds of enemies, and they are even lined up for you perfectly. You barely have to do any work. You can either finish this with 1 or 2 runs, or die and start over until the mission is finished. Missions 55 through 57. Find 3, 6, and 9 1-ups. Desert Ruins Zone 2 is a great place to achieve this little feat. There's a nice little alcove hidden in these trenches that carry 5 extra lives. Don't forget that extra lives awarded for collecting 100 rings or completing the countdown numbers still counts towards your mission. So you can also try Nightmare Zone, Frozen Factory Zone 3, or Yoshi's Island Zone.
Oh man, I can't believe he made it this far. He's gonna make me look bad.
Mission 58. Defeat 20 enemies with the Cyan Laser. The only place I can think of where you can handle this quickly is Windy Hill Zone 1. There's an easy spot to do this from. Pop the item box and laser through all the moto bugs for an easy completion. If you didn't get them all, just die before your next checkpoint and you'll have another chance. Missions 59 and 60. Collect 10 and 50 rings with the Cyan Laser. Windy Hill Zone 1 is perfect for these two. About halfway through, there's an item box with the Cyan Wisp in there, and about 100 rings right in front of it. So let her rip and bingo! Mission 61. Use the yellow drill for 30 seconds. Another obvious one. You can use Desert Ruins Zone 4, but you'd be better off on Silent Forest Zone 4. You're pretty much required to be in drill form for more than 30 seconds. I shouldn't have to tell you to refresh your meter responsibly. Missions 62 through 64. Perform 5, 10, and 20 drill jumps. This one is also fairly easy. This can be divvied up between Desert Ruins Zone 4 and Silent Forest Zone 4. Again, Silent Forest should be the way to go, as its drill sections are a lot longer and actually require drill jumps. Be safe! Mission 65. Defeat 10 enemies with the yellow drill. Again, Desert Ruins or Silent Forest would be good here. There are plenty of ant lions in Desert Ruins and a handful of moles in Silent Forest. Use at your will. Mission 66. Collect 50 rings with the yellow drill. Rinse and repeat. Missions 67 and 68. Collect 10 and 50 rings with the orange rocket. The rocket is only available in Acts 2 and 4 of Tropical Coast. When grabbing an orange wisp, be sure to look out for planetoids in close distance. Some will have a literal airborne tunnel full of rings. Aim yourself correctly, and you should be done in one playthrough. Mission 69. Use the Indigo asteroid to find a bonus room. Elementary. You've probably done this already. The Indigo asteroid is only available in Windy Hill Zones 2 and 4. The bonus room is very close to the item box itself. They're both contained within the loop-de-loop. Mission 70. Use the Indigo asteroid for 20 seconds. A good way to prolong your time is to jump into a bonus room just before your color power runs out. You will have nearly infinite amount of time unless you either collect all the rings or fall through the cracks. Missions 71 through 73. Destroy 10, 20, and 40 pieces of terrain with the Indigo asteroid. To give you a quick summary, the pieces of terrain that can be destroyed are small platforms, hanging ledges, and of course, loop-de-loops. Due to the fact that there are only about 10 to 12 pieces of terrain to destroy, this one may take a while. Mission 74. Defeat 20 enemies with the Indigo asteroid. Your best bet would be on Zone 2. Just to warn you ahead of time, you are going to get hurt, so make sure you nab some rings beforehand. After the windmill, use the higher platforms to speed your way over the motor bug and roll underneath the orbinauts. Grab the wisp, but don't activate it just yet. Make your way back to the enemies you just skipped over. Activate it then, and you got 9 easy enemies in the bag. A lot more than if you had destroyed them beforehand. Mission 75. Collect 100 rings with the Indigo asteroid. Unfortunately, this one's going to take forever. The only places you can get a lot of rings in that short amount of time will be in the bonus room, and each of those have only about 30 to 40 rings. Perseverance, my friend. Mission 76. Fly for 30 seconds as the Crimson Eagle. The best place to try this would be Desert Ruins Zone 1. If you can control your bird, you can pop multiple wisp boxes and keep your eagle going strong. Make sure not to dash, however. That will chop off a considerable amount of your energy for something that you don't really need. Mission 77. Collect 50 rings as the Crimson Eagle. Again, Desert Zone 1 is the place for a mission to be such as this. Between wisps are a host of rings. Grab them all, especially the 10 packs, to easily clear this mission. Mission 78 and 79. Collect 100 and 200 rings with the Magenta Rhythm. The Magenta Rhythm can only be found in Silent Forest Zone 2 and Sky Road Zone 4. Go with Silent Forest. A lot of people have trouble with the rhythm and how it works. The game won't let you go forward unless you hit one of the notes on your gamepad screen. So if you tap each one as you go, then you'll make it across safely. So make sure not to use this on Sky Road because you will only get hurt. Silent Forest is the place to go. Try tapping that 10 pack of rings at the beginning before hitting the notes. It helps with your collection. Missions 80 through 82. Defeat 1, 3, and 5 enemies with a single black bomb explosion. Ah, yes, the Black Bomb. As you may or may not know, the Black Bomb is only available through other people or the DLC levels. So, looks like you need to start making friends. Either that, or connect your Wii U to the internet. The bomb can be tiny, but rolling over and killing robots with it will help make it grow. But you obviously need to be careful of how many enemies you kill with it, as you don't want to ruin your chances. The best place to do this would be Tropical Coast Zone 1. On your first checkpoint, there are a lot of moto bugs and egg pawns. Do some walking to help them spawn and chase after you. Now, when you activate your bomb, carefully steer it away so you don't kill everybody too quickly. Then when your timer is almost up, go straight for the group. You might be able to get all 3 missions at once. Mission 83. Collect 50 rings with the Black Bomb. This one is luckily a lot easier. All you need to do is find a place with a lot of rings. The possibilities are endless, so this one's on your own. So pop the bomb when you're done. Have fun with it. Mission 84. Clear a zone without defeating any enemies. You'll probably be better off doing this someplace easy like Windy Hills Zone 1 or 3. Obviously, levels that require chaining attacks to cross a large gap are out of the question. Tropical Coast Zone 3 has the least amount of enemies, but you do have to get a little evasive in order to skip them. Mission 85 through 87. Earn at least 3, 5, and 8 bonuses when you reach the goal. The best place to do this, every single time, is in Desert Ruins. Near the end, there's a secret cannon underneath a hole in licorice. It takes you to a good alternate path that ends up right over the enemy capital. Just pull off a double jump and you got it made each time. Missions 88 through 90. Clear 1, 3, and 5 zones without losing a life. The best place to do this would be Windy Hill Zones 1 through 3. Keep up top and you'll be fine. Tropical Coast Zone 3, Desert Ruins. This is honestly just a challenge for your own taste. It entirely depends on what levels you're best at. Those are just my suggestions. Missions 91 through 93. Clear 1, 3, and 5 zones without taking damage. Slightly tougher, obviously. Again, just think of the places you know you're good at, and you shouldn't have much problem. Memorize the enemies and or traps if you need to. Missions 94 through 100. Defeat each final boss without taking damage. Yikes.
You're going home in a box! I'm gonna skin you alive! I can't believe it! Looks like dinner is served! I gotta go! It's dinner time! Your lesson begins now.
towards you. Don't make me cry! You ruined my makeup! If these stains don't come out, you're dead!
Another pointless conflict is about to begin. Only the Reaper wins in the end.
Playtime is over, Hedgehog. Now, don't break too easily. Next meeting looks to be interesting. Prepare yourself.
Congratulations! You have completed all of Omochao's 100 bonus missions. And now, here's your reward. That's right, you get absolutely nothing. Well, maybe some bragging rights, but that's pretty much it. Here's why. As it turns out, the reward for finishing all of Omochao's missions was originally the ability to turn into supersonic. But as they realized it would take too long, they decided to switch back to the more traditional method of collecting red star rings and picking up chaos emeralds. So, at the last minute, when they made that switch, they couldn't find any other adequate prize to give us. So, they give us nothing. But hey, at least you have the satisfaction of knowing that you've picked up all 100 missions, which is actually more than what most people can say for their profile. So be proud of that. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about how to complete these missions, and I hope to hear more about the progress that you've made. Good luck with your conquests, and I hope you guys have fun. Take care.